Imagine the following scenario. You work for a company that wants to monitor how often certain hashtags are being posted in social media, especially in Twitter. So every time that someone posts a tweet with a given hashtag, you're going to receive an email to the inbox of your choice, including the username of the person who posted the tweet and the tweet itself. Now, to accomplish this, you're going to need a Twitter account, a Power Automate account, and an email address. In this case, we're going to use a G Suite Google account. First thing you do is to head to the Power Automate portal. From here, you go to Create section on the left side. And then you choose Automated Cloud Flow. Automated cloud flows are those triggered by a designated event. In this case, the event is going to be the tweet you are monitoring for. When we click on that link, the dialog that allows us to create an automated cloud flow appears. In this dialog, under the flow name, we are going to type Twitter monitoring as the name of our flow. And below that, we can search for what is going to be the trigger that will start our flow. We are going to type in here Twitter. And we are going to use the Twitter trigger. When we are happy with our selection, we click on the Create button, which takes us to the page where we can edit or create our flows. The first step here is to authorize the Power Platform to use your Twitter account. Power Automate is going to be able to access your Twitter account and search Twitter for content that you specify. So let us sign in our Twitter account. As you can see in a new pop-up, a form appears where you can authorize the Power Platform to access your Twitter account. You can revoke these permissions at any moment in the settings section within your Twitter account. Since I've been doing this several times, you can see my Twitter handle is already here. So I only need to type my password. This is going to be the password of my Twitter account. And feel free to follow me in Twitter if you want to. Once you have signed in and your credentials are correct, you are redirected to the Power Platform portal. Now that we are connected to our Twitter account, we can search for the content that is going to trigger our flow. Let us choose the hashtag #LowCode no code. This will search for all the tweets that contain this hashtag. And it's going to trigger the next step that we will define after we click in the New Step button. Okay, so when a new tweet is posted with the #LowCode no code hashtag, we want to receive an email from our G Suite account. To do this, we need to give access to Power Automate to your G Suite account. So we search for Gmail, and we choose to send an email action because we want to receive an email every time that the hashtag is found in Twitter. Power Automate is going to redirect us to Google, and it's going to ask us to choose the account we want to sign in with and to authorize the Power Platform to use our account to send emails. Notice that I'm using a G Suite account instead of a free Gmail account. The reason is that Power Automate doesn't work too well with these public accounts, so you need a G Suite account to allow this automation. Once you sign in and give permissions, you will be redirected back to the Power Automate portal. As you can see, now we can send emails from Power Automate. The first field in this form is going to be the email address at which we want to send emails. And here I'm going to type this email address. And the next field is the subject of the email that I will be sending. Notice the window that appears close to the Add Dynamic Content blue link in the form. Here you can have the possibility to add dynamic content that you got from the Twitter connector in the previous step. So you can embed who wrote the tweet or the Twitter account and the content of the tweet itself. Let me show you how. We go to the Dynamic Content dialog and choose Tweeted By to add the username of the person who created the tweet, and then we go to Tweet Text to add the content of the tweet. And then we save the flow by pressing the Save button. And that's going to be it. Notice that you get a notification informing that your flow is ready to go and you should test it. So let's do that. First, we go to the flow checker to see if we have any errors or warnings during the creation of the flow. And then we go to Test Flow. To test the flow, there are two options. manually test the flow, and automatically test the flow. In this case, we are going to use manually test the flow by creating a tweet that is going to trigger this flow. This way we can verify that it is indeed working as we expected. If you automatically test the flow, it's going to search for some tweet that has already been posted in Twitter to run the flow. Click the test button and then you see the new notification message where you are being invited to create a new tweet. So let's create a new tweet and see if our flow works or not. So now we change to Twitter and we add this new tweet. We post the tweet, and after returning to the Power Automate portal, we wait for a few seconds and we get the notification that our flow ran successfully and 2 green check marks on the top of the steps of the flow. Okay, so now let us go to our email account and see the result of our flow. I've been testing this for a while now, and when you check the email, you'll see that indeed the text is the one that we provided in the template in our flow, and the username of the Twitter account and the content of the tweet have been added to the template. And this is it. Now you know how to capture certain patterns in tweets and then create a flow that will send you a notification, in this case an email, to your account. Have fun.